Come on, get up, put your robe on, go to the bathroom, wash your face, brush your teeth, okay?
It's Saturday, and 12-year-old Brianna struggles to get out of bed.
Before you brush your teeth.
Her days often start the same. Today's breakfast is a Pop-Tart, followed by a sandwich, capped off with some chips.
So what are some of the things you know you got to give up?
Chips, candy, and sugar.
Brianna is dangerously overweight.
How could I weigh this much and I'm just a kid?
And she's not alone. It's estimated that over 12 million children in America are considered obese, a number that's tripled in the past 30 years.
Big breath.
This is a health crisis, the likes of which we've never seen. For the first time in history, our children may have shorter lifespans than their parents.
It's a ticking time bomb. By the time he's 20, he's going to be at least 500 pounds.
Tonight, we'll journey deep into the heart of the South, the hardest hit region, to find out why America's next generation is battling obesity and how it's threatening all our futures. America, it can be inspiring and beautiful. It can also be dark and ugly. It's so many things, but it's ours. It's our America. So we've all heard that we are the fattest country in the world, but what you might not know is that 1 in 6 American kids is considered to be obese. How did we get here? Our story starts in Little Rock, Arkansas, one of the poorest states in America. It's home to Stacy, a single mother struggling to take care of her 4 kids.
Papa! Yay, come on, Trees, high five. You got it, Trees, yay. All right. Yeah.
This is Jalen, her youngest. The last time he got on a scale, he weighed 93 pounds. Jalen is only 4 years old.
Go, Jalen, go! Go, Jalen, go!
In a family of thin siblings, how did one child, a child as young as Jalen, become obese?
All right, good job, Jalen, good job. You all right? You're breathing kind of hard. Do you want to sit down and rest?
No.
You okay?
Jalen's clearly an active little boy, so it must be something else. The answer started to become very clear to me inside Stacy's home.
What is your problem? I'm getting ready to fix some lunch. Y'all get ready to eat. Come on.
Life isn't easy for Stacy. She's got her hands full, and when Jalen starts to cry, she'll do anything to make it stop.
Let me fix you some. Will you eat for me first, and then you get back on the computer?
All too often, Stacy relies on food to assuage Jalen's tantrums. It's a pattern that started when he was just a baby. Your other kids are very thin.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think Jalen got this way?
I've always fed all of them the same. With Jalen, he just wanted a little bit extra.
Is it hard to say no to Jalen when he's begging you for things?
Yes.
Why is it so hard?
Because he's my baby. And as a mother, when a child comes up and tells you that he's hungry, your first instinct is to feed him.
Those extra portions quickly added up to extra pounds. Love for her youngest child has blinded Stacy to Jalen's dramatic weight gain and the consequences that are starting to show.
All right, Jalen, come on, big boy, it's bedtime. Let's put your mask on. Can you sit up for me? Sit up for me, let me put your mask on.
I want to go to bed.
Okay.
It took a medical emergency to open Stacy's eyes. When Jalen was just 2, she discovered he was struggling to breathe at night. Doctors diagnosed Jalen with sleep apnea. With so much extra weight on his chest, he can't get enough oxygen. Without the assistance of a respiratory ventilator at night, he stops breathing for seconds at a time.
Okay, close your eyes. Good night, son.
It's a nightly reminder for Stacy that all is not well with her child, that things have to change.
Good night.
As his mother, I don't want to bury my son. I want my son to have to bury me. That's just the way it is. I don't want to be without him.
Since the diagnosis, Stacy and Jalen have been making regular visits to the Arkansas Children's Hospital to try and get his weight under control.
Good morning. Jalen Jones, 9 o'clock appointment.
Despite his young age, Jalen's size is now far from unusual. 1 out of every 7 low-income preschool children are considered obese. The clinic here is trying to help families create healthier habits for themselves and their kids. Like many with no health insurance, Stacy must rely on Medicaid to cover the bill. The costs are growing for the whole nation. It's estimated that we're spending $168 billion a year to fight obesity. What are you hoping he weighs today?
I'm hoping he's actually lost at least a pound or 2. I'm hoping today.
Jalen,
Come on, that's us.
you ready to come in here?
That's us. Come on.
Okay, buddy. Buddy, come stand right on the scale.
It's been a month since Jalen weighed in. He's been getting exercise, something Stacy hopes will work in his favor when he hits the scale.
Okay, you can have a seat right over here in the chair.
Sit.
He was 3 feet, 9.3 inches, and 101 pounds.
It's quite a bit more than last time, huh?
Yeah, that's not good.
Is this the first time he's been over 100 pounds?
Yes, it is. I'm very disappointed. I mean, there's got to be more that we can do. That's a dangerous weight for a 4-year-old.
We'll see how tall you are.
For a boy his age and height, Jalen should weigh about 50 pounds. At 101 pounds, he's twice as heavy as doctors recommend. While it's hard news for Stacy, Jalen is just too young to take it in. He only knows that he's hungry.
You are already, no, because you're over 100 pounds. No.
Please,
No.
please,
No.
please, Mama. Please, Mama. Mama, please.
No, Joe.
Please, Mama.
It's a familiar routine, one that ends the way it usually does, with Stacy giving in.
I'll let you hold it. Don't eat anymore, Jalen. No, I'm not laughing.
Stacy is at the end of her rope, but doctors here have developed a multidisciplinary approach to address the causes and effects of Jalen's extra pounds. Mother and son see a tag team of specialists, a dietitian, a physical therapist, even a resident in psychology.
It's been getting harder to say no to him because he's constantly pleading with me and pleading with me and pleading with me all the time. And that's the hard part, just having to say no. I can say no and he's gonna still ask.
So in those instances when Jalen is profusely begging, what should she do?
She needs to ignore him, and we've talked about this, and that's...
Each team member drives home the same message. For Jalen to lose weight, Stacy has to hold firm and learn to say no.
I talked to the nutritionist, physical therapist, and the psychologist before coming in.
His primary care physician, Dr. Razak, has the toughest message.
I know it's not going to be easy hearing this, but I have to tell you this. I can't sugarcoat this.
Yeah.
He's in the obese category, and that means if he does not make lifestyle changes, it's a guarantee that he will have the diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol problems, joint problems, depression, self-esteem issues, sleep issues, and I can go on and on and on.
But he's not there?
He's not there, but it's a guarantee. It's a ticking time bomb. It's not a matter of if it's gonna happen, it's a matter of when. All I have to do is project this further, and this will end up here. By the time he's 20, he's gonna be at least 500 pounds. But you know what? You're in the right place. We're gonna get you all the help, all the support that you need, and we're gonna get him where he needs to be.
I just stepped out of the room so the doctor could examine Jalen a little more closely, and the doctor is just going down this list of diseases that Jalen is on the verge of developing, and I'm just watching Stacy, and I mean, I'm feeling so overwhelmed. I can't even imagine how this mother of this 4-year-old child is feeling. This is a life or death situation, and Stacy has got to draw the line now. 77% of obese children become obese adults. It's a preventable problem, but only if parents take action.
Where you at?
Right here.
Huh?
Come up.
Okay.
I'm angry at myself because I let it get out of control. Jalen is my baby, and I love him just like I love all of them. And I want him
I know, be careful.
healthy, and I'm willing to do any and everything to see that happen. I don't want to hurt him any more than I already have.
If Stacy doesn't act now, Jalen's future could look a lot like what I'm about to find in Mississippi, the fattest state in the country, where nearly 35% of the population is obese, and a 12-year-old girl is facing the struggle of her life. We're in the small rural town of Durant, Mississippi. This is Brianna. She's just 12 years old, but she already weighs 347 pounds.
I used to go outside a lot and go play, ride my bike, and just go to the Boys and Girls Club, run and play dodgeball. Well, I got lazy and then never wanted to do nothing.
10 pounds when she was born, Brianna was a healthy baby. Her family moved from Illinois to Mississippi when she was 9 years old. She became increasingly inactive, and her weight began to get out of control. Weight that she might have burned off through exercise started piling on. It more than doubled over the next 3 years.
Are you ready? Yeah! T-I-G-E-R-S. Tigers, 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 roar!
All right, time to clean. We're gonna do a relay racing, okay?
It's hot outside for everyone in PE class, but the hundreds of extra pounds Brianna's carrying makes it worse.
Coach, let me catch my breath.
We meet up at school just as lunch is about to start.
Hey, Brianna. How's school going today? Is it lunch right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, a free lunch is provided to every student.
What are they having today?
Hot dogs, coleslaw, and french fries.
Do you like hot dogs?
Going through the line, I see that students have some choice, a fresh fruit or fruit cocktail, regular or chocolate milk. But I also notice there's a pair of deep fryers in the kitchen. Left to their own devices, just what are these kids choosing for lunch?
Can I see that chocolate milk? 25 grams of sugar. Can I see this white milk? 11 grams of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in this.
There are lots of other things kids can buy in addition to their school meal, like chips and ice cream. About $2 billion worth of junk food and soda are sold every year in school lunch lines, revenue often used to compensate for budget cuts in education.
How often do you guys buy this stuff like, because lunch is free, but you can buy ice cream or chips. How often do you buy other things? Every day?
High-calorie food is clearly the popular choice here, both in and, as I'm about to discover, out of the cafeteria. While Brianna is at school, her mother, Chanel, is hard at work in the kitchen.
I have in here bell pepper, celery, onion, cream of celery, cream of chicken, and sage.
To supplement the family's income, she cooks lunches for the community.
That's my dressing, and I let it bake for about an hour.
Chanel's specialty is soul food.
This is my sweet relish. This is my mayonnaise. I gotta have blue plate. If I don't have blue plate, it don't taste right to me.
It's a cooking style that Chanel learned from her grandmothers, recipes handed down through the generations, a food culture that she's passing down to her daughter.
A little sugar in it. Everybody love my potato salad.
How would you describe what soul food is?
The turkey wings, pig feet, greens, fried cabbage. It's a different southern taste. You know, we use a lot of grease and a lot of hog and pork and our greens and stuff.
Is soul food just part of the culture here?
Yes, it is. It's the culture of Mississippi. They love to eat in Mississippi, yes.
Brianna's parents, including her father Bernard, rarely gave a thought to their child's diet growing up.
Generally, would you say that Brianna eats a lot?
Yeah, I would say that, but I'm not junk, you know, because
it's food.
It's food. You know, she's healthy. She come out healthy, and she's just a healthy baby, you know what I mean?
I think it's interesting that you use the word healthy, because what's the definition of healthy in the South?
It's not the your general idea of being physically fit and healthy. Just you big bone, you healthy. They don't say cornbread fed.
Chanel.
Come on, Tito.
All right.
We got dressing, string beans, your turkey wings, and potato salad or baked chicken.
We got Thanksgiving going on. Nails Kitchen.
There you go, darling.
Appreciate it, baby. Thank you.
Hey.
Hey.
So what'd you get?
Just got me a little lunch.
So do you ever take into consideration like whether the food is healthy or fattening or anything like that?
We just eat it and think about the healthy part later.
While Chanel's food is legendary for its taste, it's also loaded with butter, sugar, and plenty of calories.
This is a healthy, thick plate. It weighs.
Let's see. Yeah, this is
loaded. I mean,
this is a couple pounds.
Right. So like I said,
Will you eat this whole thing?
Probably not all at one time, but I'm pretty much, it's not gonna be there long.
Enjoy.
Okay, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
It does look good. I'll tell you that. Do you think people are concerned about weight in this area, in this community?
Not really. Not really.
In the poorest state in the nation, over 30% of Mississippi residents are considered obese. Poverty and obesity are intrinsically linked, but is it a cycle that can be broken?
Let us start with the first page.
Brianna weighs 347 pounds. As a sixth grader, she's not just unhealthy, she's having problems fitting in. Her excessive weight has made her a constant target for the kind of attention no kid wants to deal with.
That's the bullet right there. He was one right there with the blue and white jacket on, the white stripes going down the side. It was just like every day I went to school, I got picked on. I can't take it.
Or what have the kids been saying to you?
They'll call me names, just talk.
What do the bullies say to her? What do they call her?
Call her fat.
Linebacker. Just name the little girl. Little girl don't supposed to hear nothing like that. A 12-year-old girl. It make you worried, and it make you angry about the people that's saying things to her. You're being a parent, you want to protect your child at all times, And with them, just like she shouldn't have to do that. See, people shouldn't judge people from the outside anyway.
Cheater. I want red.
In the eyes of every parent, their child is special, unique, beautiful. But doctors are now warning Brianna that she faces a future of possible health problems, diabetes, heart attacks, which could cut her life short.
One day I went to the doctor and they said I weighed 325.
When you heard that, when your doctor said you weighed 325, how did you feel?
Not good.
Were you surprised?
Very.
What were you thinking?
Like, How could I weigh this much and I'm just a kid?
Since that visit, Brianna has gained even more weight. The doctors have told her that 52% of her body mass, more than half, is now made up of fat. At 12 years old, Brianna is considered morbidly obese.
She come to me one day and she was like, I am so tired of people picking on me about my weight. And she said, I need to lose some weight, Mama.
With Brianna's health in jeopardy, Chanel has started to second guess what she's putting on the dinner table.
So when you were taught to cook, were you ever taught about what foods might be healthier than other ones?
No, I was not. I was just taught to cook the soul food.
Which is not quite low fat, huh?
No. I need someone to teach me how. I don't know how to do it. You know, I don't know how going by doing it to shop healthy. You gotta get the ground beef, the wings, and the steak.
At the local grocery store, I start to see just how much Chanel has to learn.
I buys a lot of fruit in the can.
But fruit in the can not good.
Do you like the fruit in the can, Brianna?
It's too sweet.
Retrofitting the family diet means Chanel will have to rethink all of her choices and how she prepares them.
I noticed you passing the fresh vegetables. Is that not of interest?
Where'd you see some fresh vegetables at?
All of those vegetables out there? So you've never, ever picked up fresh vegetables in the produce section?
Nothing but the greens and the lettuce. Get a cabbage.
But you usually don't buy a lot of that, do you?
This cabbage.
You do? And do you cook the cabbage?
Fry it.
You fry the cabbage.
That's my favorite vegetable.
I boil it or I fry it sometimes.
Or grill it.
But she
I like it grilled.
She been trying to get me to put it on the grill.
This family is struggling to figure out healthy do's and don'ts in the grocery aisle before Brianna gains even more weight.
We just need to change the way we eat and do things as a family, and it'll be beneficial for her and us.
I kept forgetting that Brianna is only 12 years old. I mean, she is a child. If she doesn't make drastic changes, I can't even imagine what the consequences could be. I mean, this is live or die for her. Brianna is now part of a generation that for the first time in American history may have shorter lifespans than their parents.
This is your first low-intensity interval. It's no big whoop. Just shake that booty.
It's a statistic that a small community in West Virginia is committed to change.
1, 2,
Today is a big day for a group of volunteer firefighters and their children.
Do not hide your face. Be proud of what you've done.
It's weigh-in day, a moment of truth that's been a year in the making. Most are trained to rescue and provide medical care, but today, these everyday heroes in West Virginia are working to save their own lives.
Much of the state is very rural. Access to healthy food is pretty limited, and some towns don't even have sidewalks for people to use. But there's a group of people in the little tiny town of Alcole who have not let the fact that there are no sidewalks in their community stop them from trying to break the generational cycle of obesity. And there they are. Hi, guys. How y'all doing?
They call themselves the Pound Punchers. For the past year, 5 days a week, rain or shine, this close-knit group of families walk up to 8 miles a day, and the entire community cheers them on.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Corey.
It's time to show these kids that we don't have to live in the city. We don't have to live right next door to a gym. We can live out here in the country, and we can walk these roads, and we can get this weight off.
This is 47-year-old Melissa. She's managed the books for the Mud River Fire Department for the past 15 years, and at one point weighed 416 pounds. The unofficial den mother of the station, she focused on operations, not her waistline, a weight gain set off by a tragedy in her childhood.
I was 14 when I was raped. I only weighed 145 pounds at the time. And I felt that if I would gain this weight, nobody would touch me.
Through her teens, Melissa built up a wall of weight to defend herself from further harm.
When you were at your height, over 400 pounds, what would you think?
That I'm dying slowly. And I knew this.
What would you see when you look in the mirror?
Something I didn't want to see, a very big, fat person. So at my house, there's no full view mirror. It's all from the waist up. That way I didn't have to look at it.
Melissa wasn't the only one ashamed by her appearance. A year ago, her then 17-year-old son, RJ, was embarrassed to be seen with her.
I was just afraid people that I go to school with would see me and make fun of me.
What does she look like?
Just heavy, bigger than what she is now.
But RJ was following in his mother's footsteps. Through his teens, his weight climbed to 289 pounds from a lack of exercise and a fondness for soda. At one point, RJ was drinking up to 24 cans of pop every day.
How'd you feel when you were drinking all that soda?
Tired. Just wanted to lay around all day.
He didn't care what he ate when he ate. I would fix spaghetti, I'd fix pizza, and for dinner, oh, that was a 4-course meal. You had your green beans, you had your macaroni and cheese, your mashed potatoes, your fried chicken.
Every single night?
Yes, every night.
Drastic weight loss doesn't happen overnight, but sometimes the will to change goes off like an alarm, and Melissa received a serious wake-up call.
At what point did you decide, I have to change?
When the doctor told me that if I did not get the weight off within a year, I'd be a diabetic.
How did you feel when your doctor said that you're pre-diabetic?
Scared, nervous, upset, because I was doing it to myself, and I had to get a hold of it.
Please apply blood to the strip.
Melissa knew what a life riddled with insulin injections meant. Her husband, Kevin, a diabetic for 5 years, used to require up to 8 shots a day. She feared RJ was heading in the same direction.
I don't want to see RJ become a diabetic. I don't want him to be limited of what he can do in his life. I want him to live his life to the fullest.
Frustrated by the weight her whole family carried, Melissa became a catalyst for change. Certain she couldn't lose the weight on her own, Melissa asked her volunteer firefighter buddies to do it with her. Given that all of them were overweight, they agreed, and together, the Pound Punchers were born.
Hey, guys.
Hey. It's a nice little gym.
Without a community center or gym within 30 miles, the Pound Punchers took to the highways. They walked the roads, but they wanted more exercise options. They got the space at the fire station, but needed equipment, a cost the group could not afford.
We went to the county commission and asked for donations and got it.
With the gym fully stocked, they opened their doors to the community. Everyone is welcome, and it's free.
Which one of these machines is your favorite?
The ab coaster.
Why is that your favorite?
It works your belly, and that's what I need. I need my belly going.
Can you show us how it works?
Sure.
It's really good, Melissa. How long do you do that?
Usually we do it till we get to like 200. Then
200 of those?
Yeah, then I have paper that we keep everything down on, so we know how many we've done.
So how much time do you all spend up here?
An hour to 2 hours a day.
2 years ago, could you have imagined yourselves in this room doing this?
We all laugh, we joke, we cut up, we carry on, and we make it fun. As long as we're together and we keep supporting each other, we will make it to where we're wanting to go.
Thank you, Mom.
As a group, the Pound Punchers have shrunk in size, but they still have bad habits to break. The vending machine is stocked with honey buns and Pop-Tarts.
How many times did you hit it a day?
Oh, 3 or 4. I'd get a bag of chips, I'd go back and get a candy bar, I'd go back and get a Pop-Tart, then I'd go back and get a honey bun.
But the Pound Punchers' staple of snacks is about to change.
Mayonnaise.
Yep.
Mustard.
Yep.
While regular exercise has become a habit, eating healthy hasn't been a priority for the Pound Punchers. But today, they're trying something new: chicken salad on multigrain bread.
So how is this different from what y'all used to eat over a year
Usually
ago?
it's fried chicken or chicken and dumplings or hot dogs, pizza.
Is it hard to eat this way?
We're learning as we go, but now the weight's getting harder to get off, and we've got to go this way now. Because if not, we're not gonna get the rest of it off.
A lot of people want to say that the healthy food is not available. I mean, if you go to the grocery store and you buy cookies, why can you not buy a bag of oranges? Because I'm bad about buying the chips, buying the cookies. But I bought apples, and I bought a vegetable tray this time instead.
So y'all are gonna serve this up and see how everyone feels about it, huh?
Oh yeah. See if they like it.
It's a taste test for the rest of the team, and if they like it, it could ignite a nutritional change. And with it, more weight loss.
Does this look appetizing?
Okay, try it.
So how is it?
It's good.
Liking it? Mm-hmm. What's the big difference?
Healthy.
But does it still taste good?
Yeah, I actually like it.
So overall, does it get a thumbs up?
It's 2 thumbs up.
With a new diet in the making and their year-long commitment to exercise, it's time to find out just how much they've lost. As everyone's weight loss is added up, I can feel the energy in the room. The Pound Punchers are ready to celebrate how far they've come.
Yes, 293! I lost some more today!
Melissa's lost over 120 pounds.
I broke the 4-pound cycle!
I've never been able to go to Walmart and buy a pair of jeans to fit me, but I actually got a pair of jeans from Walmart that fit me.
What did that feel like?
I guess I was like a kid in a candy store because, I mean, I came home and I got him and ran to my mom's. I said, look, I got jeans. I can wear jeans.
Her son RJ has also experienced a major change. He's cut way back on soda, and he too is starting to lose weight.
How has the last year been different from previous years?
Just, it's made me and my mom more close.
In what way?
She just set a role model for me. She's like my superhero.
It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. Will you guys just let me do this, please?
Back in Little Rock, Stacy too is trying to set a good example for her son, sticking to the plan laid out by the clinic. Getting the news that her 4-year-old son weighs over 100 pounds has sparked a commitment to changing the entire family's eating habits.
Having him try to eat healthy, this is where he breaks it down at, because he doesn't want to eat healthy.
In the past, Stacy's menu for her 4 children would have been fried chicken and spaghetti. Now she's offering more nutritional options. Today's lunch is a turkey wrap and fruit salad. It's low on calories and on par with a good diet plan.
Is it good, you guys? Jalen, are you liking it? Let me see. Are you liking it? Y'all liking the fruit? Y'all digging the fruit? Oh, good. Thank you. They have yelled that they like it. If we all, take the initiative and get on board with eating healthy and being healthy, then, Jalen is going to be okay.
So far, all 4 of Stacy's kids seem to be on board with the new menu.
Mama, can I get another wrap?
Will you just eat some more grapes?
But once again, for Jalen, it's a problem of portions. He likes the food, he just wants more of it.
There's a lot of grapes in it. Yeah, just some more what?
Some more wrap.
You can't have another one, son. That's it. Your intake is it. That's it. That's it.
I'm gonna have to leave if I can't do it.
The decision Stacy makes now will have a lasting effect on the rest of Jalen's life. Learning to say no, to hold the line on extra food he doesn't need.
Do you not want your fruit? You don't want your fruit? This is my son, and I love him, and I'm gonna do, what's best for him.
It has to happen now. The older Jalen gets, the harder it will be to drop the weight, something that Brianna knows all too well. Back in Mississippi, 12-year-old Brianna, too, is working on a diet change. But cutting calories is not enough to get her back to an acceptable weight. Brianna needs to exercise to burn off the extra pounds, so she started working out at a community center.
When she first started going, she was out of breath fast. She couldn't stay on long. But they said she's doing real good now.
Here she has a coach to monitor her progress.
It's kind of slow.
Okay. Can increase it maybe 1 or 2, but that's it.
This is Portia, a project director at the center and Brianna's mentor.
Okay, your heart rate is moving on up. What's the norm that you normally do, Brianna?
Heart rate, 130 to 141.
How would you rate her level of motivation? Like, how badly does she want to lose weight?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
10. She's a great person and she's very level-headed, so she really wants to do this. She was a bit shy, and then as we continued on, she started to open up more and we could see a change.
Have you noticed a difference since you've been more active?
Yes, ma'am.
In what way?
My face, because I used to have some juicy cheeks. They're not as much big as they used to be.
Or why are you trying to lose weight? Why are you trying to do it, Brianna?
For myself.
It's a lot of pressure for a young girl. But by changing her diet and sticking to an exercise plan, Brianna has a good shot at turning her life around.
What's your goal?
To lose at least 100 pounds.
You think you can do it?
Yes, ma'am.
With a firm goal in place, Brianna's fragile confidence is starting to grow. For the first time in her young life, she's ready to step out of the shadows. She's decided to attend the school dance.
Have you ever been to a dance before?
No, ma'am.
Are you excited?
Yes.
This is something, she's gonna be in a dress. And then all the kids at school saying they can't wait to see her in the dress. That's pretty. So really, this is something special for her tonight.
Are you blushing?
I want her to go and feel comfortable in her dress tonight and enjoy herself. I tell her now she's beautiful, It's my baby. You're too pretty.
For tonight, Brianna won't be worrying about her weight. But things have to change, and that change has to start with her parents, Chanel and Bernard.
We tell her that you don't want to have your life cut short because of something that you can do now.
Off to the dance.
As parents, what's your role in this?
We will have to change. For her to change, we gotta do it as a team.
If there's a group that knows the importance of banding together, it's the Pound Punchers, and they are ready to celebrate.
What's on the agenda?
We are going to release a balloon for every pound we've lost.
Ashley, can you count them, babe? No, you cannot estimate. I have to know.
And why are you doing that?
To me, it's like when we're letting them balloons go, we're letting that weight go. It's gone. It left.
555 balloons, one for each of the pounds they've collectively shed. Weight loss they hope to double in the next year.
1, 2,
As long as we're together and we keep supporting each other, we will make it to where we're wanting to go.
I am so inspired by these volunteer firefighters. They've really formed this incredible little team that supports each other and holds each other accountable. But to me, what I think the most important thing they're doing is being role models for their kids. And RJ, I think, said it best when he said, "My mom means everything to me. She's my superhero." That's kind of what it's about.
Hey, let's start doing hoot. There it is. 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 Hoot. There it is.
I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube channel. Now you can find new videos every day. They're the kind of videos that will make you look at life differently. They may even make you laugh a little bit. Subscribe to the OWN channel today, and we'll see you on YouTube.